Hello, welcome to Dave C. Straight from the Pit. I thought for the next few episodes, we would air some Halloween specials from last season on the channel. And we actually got to go to Halloween Haunt yesterday, and it was a blast. It was really, really fun. And things like this kind of helped me to take my mind off some stresses, along with G.I.Joe. So later in the week there was a few things that were a little bit stressy and on Friday, but we were able to go there and relax yesterday, and it was really, really good. So I hope you guys can get some relaxation and some fun out of these next 3 videos. They're all going to be reruns, like I said. And we hope to have, for October 31st, Halloween night, a special 2022 edition of Halloween G.I. Joe. So, okay, hope you guys enjoy this.
Ooh, ooh. Welcome everybody to Dave C. Straight from the Pit, the Halloween edition. I hope you will love your stay. Happy Halloween!
So much for the head counselors ever getting back to the camp on their own. I say we stop the car, get out, and start screaming for help. I was just kidding, Elizabeth.
Darren, we better turn around.
Why?
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
So yeah, welcome everybody to part 1 of 3 of the Halloween edition of Dave C. Straight from the Pit, G.I. Joe commentary show. And these 3 episodes, leading up to October 31st Halloween night episode, will be 3 close looks at some top scary Joes and Cobras from 1982 to 1989. So in this edition of part 1, we're going to look at, how many do I have here? I think 7 different guys. And starting with, we'll go over here to this creepy looking guy. And he is Tripwire. And some people might say, what do you mean Tripwire? Because Tripwire is, in the comic, a nerdy, accident-prone klutz who is kind of goofy. But as a kid growing up, I'll always remember his face as being this kind of a weird kind of expression, and it looks almost like a plastic head. And someone might say that plastic head looks a little like this guy.
Say something.
Okay guys, I had to turn the lights back on because I was getting a little bit freaked out and scary there. I was getting pretty scared, yeah. So anyway, back to what I was talking about. His face kind of looked like that old mask of that famous killer, 1978 Halloween film. And yeah, so here's the 3 versions of Tripwire. The one on the left is the first version, 1983. The one in the center is the 3rd version, which is actually Tiger Force. That's the tiger stripe chest, which is kind of funny, but that was a rendition of a G.I. Joe sub-team, Tiger Force, and he was included in it. Kind of a different paint job. And then probably the scariest one of all is this 1985 Listen and Fun Tripwire. And a big reason why I say he's scary is because his price right now is really scary. He's incredibly rare.
because in 1985 he came with this cassette, only sold at Toys R Us, and in the package you'd get this cassette, and you could play it, and it was quite a funny cassette, and I'm going to play a little bit of it here, and it actually has a bit of a Halloween type song, and it's kind of funny. So let's listen to that one a sec.
Cobra's Revenge. Cobra. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad you got a chance to listen to that, and you can leave a comment there if you want about that. And it was a kind of a funny cassette to have, and I never actually had this guy as a kid, but recently I got him at a pretty good price, and really the only reason why I wanted him is because I didn't have him for the 85 complete set, and he completed it. On to the second scary guy on this part 1 of Dave C's Straight from the Pit Halloween episode is 1987's Crystal Ball. And why is he creepy? Well, simply maybe because his head sculpt is that of the late great Vincent Price.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell.
On to the next scary guy. Another scary Cobra guy might be the 1987 Crocmaster. Now, why might this Crocmaster be scary? Well, just imagine some 260-pound muscle man chasing you with a bunch of crocodiles in a swamp. I think that might be a little bit intimidating and a little bit scary. And his face is quite menacing. Another scary guy for this Dave C. Halloween episode is Zartan, the 1984 Zartan. And fans will for sure agree with me on this one, that he is a creepy supernatural type guy, because he changes colors and he's a paranoid schizophrenic, and he is just a wacky kind of guy, and our fans really like this guy, and I was no different. I really like Zartan, and I really enjoyed him in the comic and on the cartoon, and I think it really added a supernatural element to G.I. Joe in its heyday, and introduced a lot of other type characters, kind of laid the groundwork for that. But yeah, 1984 Zartan is definitely a creepy, sought-after guy, and here he is in his tomb. Ooh. Here are some scary clips, my friends, of me and my son Shane at the scary, scary Halloween haunt at Canada's Wonderland in Ontario, Canada. Oh man. Oh my god. As soon as I saw the camera, I thought.
Yeah.
Look at that sign. Well, that's weird. This episode is getting scarier and scarier. I just can't take it anymore. Ooh. Now, what kind of a list, a Halloween G.I. Joe creepy list, would not include Cobra Commander? I mean, he has the most iconic mask in G.I. Joe lore, and pretty much everybody knows who he is, but not a lot of people know much about his backstory. And I think that's one thing that makes Cobra Commander kind of scary and creepy. And another thing that does is his mask, kind of like a ghost from the Pac-Man game from the 80s. Oh. Okay, I got the lights back on in here now, and okay, that's better. I got my poop together now, so I can continue with this episode. Okay, so yeah, here is the 1984 Hooded Cobra Commander mail away, and he has that mask that I was talking about, and reason why he's so scary is because you never really see his face. And I prefer to go with the Marvel Comic edition backstory of this guy because it's more realistic. And at the beginning, you might actually feel a little bit sorry for the guy because he has some tragic events happen in his life. He's an American with one family member revealed, an older brother, Dan, who volunteered to fight in the military during the Vietnam War to keep his younger brother from being drafted. And then when Dan returned, he suffered from a severe emotional problem, obviously due to what he had seen. And this really upset Cobra Commander. And he was obviously really, really close to his brother. And Cobra Commander becomes so disgusted at how his brother was treated in American society after the war. And he looked up to his brother so much. And when he was killed in a car accident, this pushed Cobra Commander over the edge. And he just was really angry. And he becomes a used car salesman, kind of a disgruntled employee. And he just gets fed up with the world. And I think my interpretation is he just gets really depressed about everything. And some bad things happen to him, like his brother's killed in a car accident. And things just aren't really going the guy's way. And he kind of dreams of the United States as being maybe a little bit different type of country where everybody can have a chance at things. And I know that is the American way, but in some twisted, crazy way, this guy, he believed that he could change it and change it for the better. So he wanted to start his own government, kind of a radical, well, some might call it a terrorist group, like G.I.Joe would definitely call it a terrorist group. But anyway, so yeah, he starts a town and takes it over, and they all become Cobra guys, and they start to follow him. But anyway, he's a scary kind of mysterious guy, and that's why he's on this list. And he's also a fan favorite of so many. The 1982 or 1983 version is just as scary, because I remember when we were kids seeing this guy in the comic, and not really talking about the cartoon, because in the cartoon he's kind of a laughable kind of guy. But for those of us who grew up more with the comic first, he was so mysterious, and you didn't know much about him, just that he was this power-hungry maniac, and it kind of played on your imagination. And I think that's why he's kind of a creepy kind of guy. And in G.I. Joe issue 58, he actually gets murdered by Crimson Guardsman, Fred 5, one of the Fred series elite Crimson Guardsmen. And for those who don't know, the Crimson Guardsmen, they all have the same face. And Cobra Commander chose this face, and they're all called Freds. So they're called CGs or Freds. CGs for like CG, as in Crimson Guardsman. And the Freds, they all have plastic surgery to look all the same. So you can't identify them apart. And that was kind of a diabolical thing that Cobra Commander came up with to create these elite troopers. But anyway, one of them turns on Cobra Commander and kills him, shoots him in the back. And for the longest time, this Crimson Guardsman, he pretends to be Cobra Commander in this battle armor for about 40 episodes, or 40 issues. And then finally in issue 100, Cobra Commander comes back. And I have it up on the wall over here. It's one of my favorite comics. It's up here. And there's the cover there. As you can see, he's saying, I'm back. And slowly, one by one, he gets even with those who killed him or went against him in any way, shape, or form. But a lot of the fans were happy that Cobra Commander came back, and I was one of them, because he was always my favorite Cobra leader. And this being a Halloween special, when Cobra Commander returned, it sort of felt like he was kind of supernatural, because we thought he was dead. So it was kind of like, maybe like Jason Voorhees or or Michael Myers, like that he's kind of like unstoppable. And yeah, shot in the back and returns and just wreaks havoc on those who all who oppose him. So anyway, that's the list for today's part 1 of Dave C's Straight from the Pit. I hope you enjoyed it. And as we get closer to Halloween, I'm going to think up some other scary guys to have on this list. And hopefully there's quite a few more, but I have a feeling there are. This is just the start. So hope you guys stay tuned and are looking forward to watching another scary edition of Dave C's Straight from the Pit. Okay guys, take care. See you next time.